Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with Biggs are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Minfilia and the others. Gods know we've kept them waiting too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. No, you think? So let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordona. 'Tis as good a place as any to prepare, and better than most, the road leading east and south will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Mordona. More donuts. That's the place where... Oh, goodbye. Ow. Why? Floopsy was about to do some exposition. Ahem. That's that spot where the big old Imperial ship went down because the big freaking dragon attacked it. We saw that in one of the earlier cutscenes. Way back when we first met the Power Ranger bad guys. But if you're watching this episode and you haven't started from the beginning and you're just cutting to this point, shame on you. Why are you here? Sleftborn. Well met, friend. What brings you to Revenant's Toll? Floopsy, 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 friends in prison. Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry, and you went to rescue them? I'm not sure how I got that from those words you just said, but I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armored patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get within 100 yalms of the walls undetected. If the Garleans were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they will do to Minfilia and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. Aye, 'tis good it has to be good old-fashioned infiltration. But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? Well, I have a mind to walk through the front door. Huh? The front door? Aye, we'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of Magitech armor, and impeccable timing. Ha! That's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow the equipment. Knowing those Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savages Eorzeans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled. If you're determined to go ahead with this, I'd recommend you speak with Glaument. Glaument? The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire and happens to know a deal about Castrum Sentry besides. I've no doubt that he'd want to be of aid. Eden and I shall go to reconnoiter Garlean activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had the chance to act. Come and join us when you're ready, Elder. Let's do this. Sometimes I wonder, Ida, are there ever times when you're not enthused? I'm nothing if not enthused, Yustola. You're beginning to remind me of Papalimo. Floopsy must crane his neck to see all the way to the man's. Looking for Glaument, are you? Well, you found him, wherever you are. Hey, you're looking to get inside Castrum Sentry. And you need my help. Something tells me we're going to get along just fine. So, your friends at Castrum Sentry want for rescue? That Slaffborn knows me too well. Aye, you can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I never pass an opportunity to get back at the horse hunts. But enough about me, let's talk strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity is right delicate business. Single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can't leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that your friends where you think they are. That your friends are where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved elsewhere. But how can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. If you approach Castrum Sentry from the east, you'll see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there, never mind all the moorballs, and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You'll come upon some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one of them leads back up to the command tower. If you listen closely, might be as you can eavesdrop on some of the happenings within. Once we know for certain your friends are there, we'll move to the next stage of the operation. Now get going! Godspeed. Floopsy espionage! Ooh. Mario? You're not Mario! Mario! The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be a deaf mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. The others aren't much better. The Elzen gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Minfilia woman? They say she possesses some mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power? Like the kind the beast men use? How am I supposed to bloody know? You're so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well try to tumble her. I like my head where it is, thank you very much. The break is over. Best we get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until all is silent. No, Mario. Mario is missing. Time was I took on every odd job offered to me, running messages and culling pesky fauna like a good little adventurer, and well past that now. These days there's only one thing on my mind, and it's what's brought me here. Eh? Oh. Oh. Hi. 'Tis good to see you again, Elder. I'm given to understand you've conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn? So, Minfilia and the others are indeed a Castrum Sentry. Their presence thus confirmed, we may proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Cid took the liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray, have the details from him. Cid. Good work, Elder. As Alphino has already told you, we've plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Glaument is looking into ways to procure a suit of Magitech armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Minfilia and the others are counting on us, Elder. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. But Floopsy wants a nap. While Glaument goes about devising his plan, we need to see to some preparation of our own. It wouldn't do if the Imperials were to discover that they're short in armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is likely to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the self-same energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystal amongst the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. Plasmoids! Well, we've seen plasmoids a couple of times. They haven't attacked us before. Are these ones really angry plasmoids? There's another quest. Oh, now you have something for us, Glaumant. What is it now? Hmm? Important this better be? Clean the wax out of your ears now, because there's something I want you to do by way of preparation. The plan's to have you enter Castrum Sentry all decked out in Imperial duds, but a disguise is more than just the clothes you're wearing. You also gotta act the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform a convincing Imperial salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learned it from the experts. Go see yourself as you dare. So get yourself near as you dare to Castrum Sentry, and watch the Imperials doing what they do. Alrighty. Electromagnetic radar. Oh, yep. Angry plasmoids. Okay. Do that exact same thing 4 more times. Don't get noticed by the giant frog. Oh shit! You! Teach us your salute! Do it! Show Floopsy the Imperial salute! Hmm? Dang it. He didn't respond to violence. Show Floopsy the salute! You will teach Floopsy! None of them are cooperating. Teach Floopsy your secrets! Didn't work either. Floopsy can't see over this boulder. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall recommend that patrols be increased. Oh, Floopsy. Sit. You have the readings? Excellent. Here, let me see the numbers. Box. Yes, 4 of these crystals should suit our purpose. I pray that we won't have need of their power. My thanks, Elder. Glaumant. So, did you manage to learn the Imperial salute? Somehow we did. No, best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I'll just take your word for it. Hee-haw! You are called Elder Floopsy, yes? I have heard of your plight from my friend Glaumant. As a fellow adventurer and son of Eorzea both, I would offer you my assistance. In order to infiltrate Castrum Sentry, you and your comrades must disguise yourselves as Imperial soldiers. The question is, how to go about acquiring the uniforms and helms. There are places a man might purchase them, but individuals who deal in such wares are not the sort to whom you would entrust your secrets. It would be more prudent, I believe, to procure what you need via traditional means. Through murder! From the bodies of their recently deceased owners. The fortified area before Castrum Sentry never lacks for Imperial patrols. It ought not take long to obtain 3 sets of gear, 1 for each member of the infiltration team, Biggs, Wedge, and yourself. When you have what you need, please return here and allow me to inspect the spoils. We're gonna go do a murder! No, Mud Puppy, bad. No, Morbol, bad! I'm gonna murder you, boop, 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 boop. Your life is forfeit, boop, 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 boop. No, Morbol, bad! Get out of here! You weren't invited! You know, with us preparing for a stealth mission, coming right up to the gates and murdering a bunch of them seems like it might put them on edge. Nah. Were you able to obtain 3 sets of Imperial equipment? Mind the blood. Damaged, as I had suspected. In their present condition, I fear these uniforms and helms are like to draw suspicion. They must be repaired, if only superficially. Fortunately, the blacksmith, Eganolf, at the Diamond Forge in Rowena's House of Splendors, should be able to hammer them into shape in no time. I've already sent word ahead, and have been assured that he is expecting you. Worry not. We have already impressed upon him the need for utmost secrecy as to the nature of your mission. Thanks. Floopsy thinks these people in Eorzea talk with weird voices. Hello, Eganolf. So you are the adventurous Arkmalak sent, are you? I've been waiting for you. Now let's see what you got for me. I see. Ah, yes. I reckon I can hammer these back into shape for you. After all, I owe your friend Arkmalak a favour or two. Took good care of old Eganolf back in the day before I fell in with old Rowena, he did. Did you know he's son of one of the wealthiest families in the Sultanate? Wouldn't expect someone like that to end up in the life he did. But I suppose he always felt adventure's life calling him. But here I go on where there's work to be done. Just hold your horse birds for a moment or two and great Eganolf will have your gear looking good as new. And there we have it. Won't do you much good in battle, mind you, but from what I hear, that's not your priority anyhow. Do send Arkmalak my regards, will you? I'm sorry for anything I might have said about your voice. Have you had the uniforms and helms repaired? Maybe? Yes, these will serve beautifully. The great Eganolf never fails to impress. The quality of these repairs would fool even a legatus. Thus equipped, you should not have any trouble blending in amongst the Imperial forces. Lest you fear that the Garleans might detect your foreignness. Foreigners, in fact, form the great part of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea. You see, when the Empire subjugates new territory, it assimilates the people out of that land into its armed forces. In turn, these conscript forces are sent to subjugate faraway lands. In this way, Garlemont nips rebellion in the bud and expands its territory in one fell stroke. With that, my part in your mission is done. I am full glad to have been of assistance to your cause. Why would I, a wealthy merchant, wish to help? I know not where you heard such a tale, but believe me when I say that I am but another humble adventurer. One who desires only to act in the best interests of the realm. Good work getting them Imperial duds. You'll be pleased to hear I ain't been idle myself. Took me long enough, but I finally hatched a plan to get us a suit of Magitech armor. Now, from what I've seen, Castrum Sentry deploys a Reaper for most of its patrols. Trouble is, the patrols themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any of them come anywhere near Revenant's toll. So, hoping to coax the Imperials out of their shells, I took the liberty of feeding them a bit of false intelligence. told him insurgents had designs on their stronghold. 'Tain't far from the truth, now I come to think of it. Any road we should start seeing more patrols than we have up till now. What you need to do is approach one of these patrols dressed in your shiny tin suit and alert them to the enemy's presence. Having done that, you'll want to lure them as near to Revenant's Toll as you can. Like as not, though, they'll be wary of venturing far from their own walls. If they do need a bit of extra encouragement, use this smoke signal here. Filched fresh from an Imperial scout. They'll come running when they see that. And when the cavalry arrives, you hit them hard and make off with their Reaper. Simple as that. If I'm mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now, so run along, eh? And don't forget to salute. Let's get that emote ready, because I don't want to type out Imperial salute when I have to do it. Let's just put that there. Thank you, Nugget. Oh, wait, we needed... Hang on, guys! Hi! You, wait here, we're gonna go change. Hang on, we'll go right behind this. Don't peek, we're changing. We have to look the part. Okay, we're ready. Hi. From another patrol, are you? When next you see your commanding officer, tell him that he leads a sloppy unit. If any of my lot forgot to salute a superior officer, they would be on their R's faster than they can say latrine duty. Hi. Oh. A pursuit. Carry on, soldier. Insurgents gathering to the east, you say? Judging by your description, they are well beyond the perimeter, and I will not have it said that I was remiss. You return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should aught go awry, use your smoke signal to call us. Sir, yes, sir. Floopsy smoke signal. I hope you don't mind my joining. Seeing as we're seizing advanced weaponry, I thought it best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. This is the place, but where's the enemy? Sir, over there! Send in the Reaper. Let us make an example of these insurgents. We broke it! At last! Our very own suit of Magitech armor. Not wishing to look a gift chocobo in the beak, but it does seem rather the worse for wear, doesn't it? Biggs, Wedge, what's your honest assessment? Shit's fucked, bruh. Well, there's the fact that she's smoking, of course, but looking past that, I'd say she was structurally sound. I don't like the way these legs are buckled. I hate to say this, but the servo mechanism may be damaged. Eh? Well, those aren't those things protected by thick armor plate? They are, yes. It's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Well, whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting till it's fixed. Not one wink of sleep. You got that, Wedge? Oh, caught chokepo. I heard that! The hall's been set aside for our use in Revenant's Toll. That's where we'll carry out the repairs. Look for us there, Elder. Floopsy. Why? Whee! Oh, well, it's moving. Oh, oh no. The boys have their work cut out for them today. The Magitech armor. Sid and the others took it inside. Go on in and join them. Yeah. If we spelt your name backwards, it would be Dick. We've now had time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She's structurally sound, but her servo mechanism is faulty. You needn't worry, though. Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Give those two something to mend, and they will think of naught else till the job's done. It's a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. What's a privy? No weapon for a Floopsy. Fresh from Arabia. A lovely scimitar. The repairs are proceeding apace. It shouldn't be long now before Biggs and Wedge complete their work. There is, however, one small problem. As you may recall, the servo mechanism was discovered to be faulty. Wedge has subsequently ascertained that the Magitech core which drives it is worn beyond use. Such cores are rather fragile devices which must be replaced at regular intervals. Thanks to the negligence of our Imperial colleagues, however, this one used in the Reaper was long overdue. Alas, we do not have access to a ready replacement here in Mordona, but all is not lost. Wedge thinks he may have identified an alternative solution. Go and see him, would you? I'll explain the details to you. Wedge. As I believe the Chief has already informed you, the Magitech core is worn beyond use. We need to find a replacement. I thought about having you appropriate more Reapers, but even if the dunderhead maintenance engineers of Castrum Sentry had remembered to replace their cores, we'd be risking arousing Imperial suspicion. But do not despair, for I believe there is a solution. To substitute the Magitech core with a Mammoth Heart. In case you don't know, a Mammoth Heart can be used to grant sentience to an automaton. By my reckoning, such a device should be more than capable of regulating the armor's servo mechanism. We'll just need to make some minor modifications to the housing unit. I've already placed an order for a first-rate Mammoth Heart with the Goldsmiths Guild. All that remains is for someone to go to Ul'dah and collect it. Oh, and to pay for it. I did mention how much they cost? No? Well, typically they cost something in the order of... I hope you don't mind footing the bill. It's for a good cause. Not today. Someday, Wedge. Hello. Hello there. Come to collect a Mammoth Heart, you say? Then you must be here on behalf of Garland Ironworks. I've taken the liberty of picking the finest example we have. A heart fit for a prince among mammoths. Payment? Oh, that won't be necessary. The heart is for Master Alphino's personal use, after all. He notified us a short while ago that his manservant would be coming to collect it. Tender in years though he may be, Master Alphino has been a benefactor of ours since my predecessor's time. The Goldsmiths Guild wouldn't dream of charging him. But here's the Mammoth Heart. May it serve you well. Oh, and please do pass on my compliments to your master. Manservant? Alphino will be punished. Wedge, guess what? It was free. We don't have to rend the payment from your flesh. Do you have the Mammoth Heart? I can't wait to see if it works. Hurrah! Thank you so much! But this is magnificent! It must have cost an emperor's ransom! Floopsy, free! Free of charge? Courtesy of Alvino? Coming from an influential family certainly has its advantages. But without further ado, let's give this a try. I've already modified the housing unit, so it should slot right in. That's what she said.